guys, welcome to week 6. Excuse my hair. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, and this is how I prep for a silk press. So yeah, excuse my dookie braids. I'm gonna be talking about my symptoms and how week 5 to 6 has been for me. So last week, December 6th, it was 5-on-1, which is 5 weeks in 1 day. I was feeling really moody and sensitive today, very low energy, wanted to nap midday, but I'm at work. Feeling like I'm saying the wrong things or saying too much. Worried about what people think of me today. Boobs still really tender and hard nipples. When touched, they make my libido really high. Blake has some kind of cold, so trying to keep my distance. Don't want to get sick because I can't take meds and I don't want to be sick and pregnant. All right, December 7th was actually my mom's birthday, my mom's official birthday, and I was 5 and 2. When I say 5 and 2, that means 5 weeks, 2 days. So anytime I say a number and another number, I mean weeks and then days. So that's what I mean. Still feeling moody and sensitive, feeling impatient when people don't understand what I'm saying, still worried about what people think of me today, still sore breasts and nipples, very aroused when touched, with a lot of egg white CM. December 8th was 5 and 3. Today was very busy at work and felt overwhelmed. Luckily my energy is up today. Wanted to use ultrasound, but knowing I'm probably still too early for an abdominal one. Subtle cramping and bloatedness, still tender breasts and nipples, trying to be more mindful of my feelings and moodiness and make sure I'm not transmitting it to others. Also just working on being more positive and trusting in my body and God. Sometimes knowing so much from my career can take a toll. I have a really bad tension headache on the left side. So I had a tension headache that day because it was really busy at work that day and I didn't get a chance to eat till like almost 11 o'clock in the morning, and I've learned this week very well I have to eat. So I'll get into that later. All right, December 9th, 5 and 4. I am an OB nurse in a hospital, and I don't plan on telling anyone I know personally until I'm 24 weeks. So my coworker 1 told me, her name, I'm gonna say her name. Coworker 1 was my coworker Caitlin. She's like a PRN weekend nurse. She told me that she also works at a birthing center that I initially wanted to have a natural delivery at. It's not the actual birthing center I ended up choosing. I asked her how she likes it, and I was asking her these questions. I was just like, oh, you like it? What do you think about the other birthing center? The other birthing center in my area is the one I did choose. And she was telling me what she thought, and she was telling me about the one she's at, and she was telling me about how the different things, and I ended up thinking, okay, the one I chose is I think the one that's gonna be good, but we'll see when I actually go there. Coworker number 2, her name is Amanda. She's our weekend bailer, so she only works, I believe, only on the weekends, and she like floats anywhere where she's needed. She's like known to be pretty nosy around at work. Like she's always in people's business. She's really nice, but she's just really freaking nosy. And she was like listening, of course, and later pulled me aside. Like didn't even pull me aside for real. Like literally, I'm doing something. I was doing something for one of my patients because that day I was working the mother baby unit. So I was doing something for one of my moms who had just had her baby, and I was walking past the nurse's station, and she like stopped me. Like in front of the nurse's station's here, and I'm walking to my patient's room, and she stops me like pretty much right in front of the nurse's station and kind of whispers to me. She's like, "Are you pregnant?" And I was like, "Huh?" Like I heard her, but I couldn't believe she asked me that. Like I couldn't believe she just like, I'm like, we're right in front of the nurse's station. Like you're like whispering it, but like what the hell? So I said, "Huh?" Like what? Like I kind of made a face like, "Huh?" And she was like, "Are you pregnant? Like right now?" And I was like, "Oh." I kind of just made it seem like, "Oh, I realized you were listening and you know what we were, you know." So I was like, "Oh, well, I just try," because my whole thing is I don't want to negate my pregnancy. I don't ever want to say to someone, "No, I'm not pregnant." I don't want to ever say like anything negating to my pregnancy, like something that basically says it's not happening and it's not real. So my choice has been to deflect or like tell a truth but not really answer the question. So I kind of had to think on my toes and be like, oh, well, I mean, I'm a planner. I like to know things ahead of time, which isn't a lie. I'm a planner. I do like to know things ahead of time. So I was asking her because I already know I want to go to a birthday center when that happens. And that time comes. And she was just like, "So you're not pregnant?" And I was like, my husband and I are thinking about it. Like, I shouldn't have even had to answer that. Because what was crazy about it is that after I had that conversation with coworker number 1, Caitlin, somehow the conversation of like circumcision came up. Like, when you work in OB and you see a circumcision in real time, it is horrific. It's barbaric, and it's like, ugh, it makes you really think twice about getting your child circumcised. Her whole thing was like consent. Like, I don't believe in like mutilating my baby. Basically, like, I feel like this child should be able to consent to something going on with their body. I believe in consent. I'm thinking, so you believe in consent, but you don't believe. This is what I'm thinking after the fact. So you believe in consent, but you don't believe in the right to privacy. Like, if I didn't tell you in that moment I was pregnant, clearly I don't want you to know, or I'm not interested in telling you. So why would you ask me that? Not only ask me that, but ask me in front of the nurse's station at work with a fake ass whisper. Like, the fuck? Who the hell do you think you are? And so I answered her just because, like, I'm not the kind of person to be petty. I don't enjoy being petty. I don't like get anything out of it. I mean, sometimes it's nice to be petty when someone's petty to you, because in the moment you're like, yeah, be like, you know. But even after the fact, even if someone was petty to me and I'm petty back, I actually like always feel bad about it after the fact. So I don't like enjoy being a petty person. So yeah, Blake was like, you should have just said, I thought you believe in consent. You don't believe in right to privacy. Why would you ask me that? Or how dare you ask me that? Like, he was kind of like, you should have told her about herself. I'm like, yeah, I could have, but like, I just didn't think to say that. That's not the first thing I thought to say. So I kind of just deflected. And Blake was like, you should just like put a PSA out, almost like tell everybody what she did, and then say, even if I am pregnant, I'm not telling anybody, and nobody should ask me until I'm ready. That way, everyone already knows not to ask me. I was like, I mean, that's a good idea, but I mean, it was just so caught off guard. So my dad came to ask a question. I mean, I had been asking questions about pregnancy for like months now, because everyone knows, like, obviously I just got married and I'm gonna have a baby at some point. So I've been asking people for months now. So everyone knows I'm interested in having a kid. So I thought it was weird that she asked me if I was pregnant, like, right now. Are you pregnant right now? So you're not pregnant? Like, she asked me like 3 different times in 3 different ways. Like, what the hell? Oh, so the next thing she said was, oh, okay, because I was going to Aaron and say, you don't look pregnant. You look great, and most women are sick, and you're not sick, and you're so upbeat, and da-da-da. It's like going on and on about how I don't look pregnant. I mean, I didn't find it like offensive or anything, but I kind of just looked at her like, what are you doing? Like, what do you think you're doing right now? Like, that's kind of how I looked at her. And then she's saying this, like, as she's, like, eyeing my belly, like, you don't look pregnant. And I'm like, girl, like, at the time, I was literally 5 weeks and 4 days. Like, I'm not gonna look pregnant. Like, why the hell would I tell you? Like, I hadn't told anybody yet except, like, my husband and my mom. Why would you be the 4th person that I tell? Like, come on. Basically, I just laughed and I walked away. I wrote, thank God I don't have any morning sickness, and if it does end up coming, I'm done for. LMAO, and I put, like, the little, like, covered face emoji. My boob's still the same, and I'm crazy bloated, and my back is killing me today. Was the last day of me taking strip pregnancy tests since I've rolled out a chemical. Okay, so I'm gonna just let you guys know I have like technically 2 due dates, because one due date is like traditional, your last menstrual period, like how everybody does it, and that's what my doctors are gonna go by. That's just like a universal global way of doing it. That is based off of like a regular 28-day cycle, regular ovulation time, which is usually on day 14. My cycle that month was 25 days, and I ovulated on day 11. So with that being said, if I calculate based off that information, my due date is 4 days sooner. So I personally, and even these videos getting posted, everything I post is based off my ovulation day. So like, if you ovulate early or if you ovulate late, your due date is gonna like fluctuate a little bit differently than your last period, which is why doctors kind of just go by the last period, because it's just like a generalized way of analyzing when your baby's due, because it's like literally off by like a couple days. I like to go by the day, my ovulation day personally, but I also used my last period as like a reference for like the tail end of something. So like, for example, I kept taking pregnancy tests. I wanted to take pregnancy tests until I reached my 5th week mark, because anything like any demises that happen before 5 weeks is considered a chemical pregnancy, or basically like a hormonal pregnancy. That's just what they call it. And I wanted to rule that out because what would happen is my strips, like you know how my strips like had like a progression line. It got from light to really, really dark. But what happened is like it would start to get dark and then it would start to get light again if it was a chemical pregnancy. Chemical meaning it ended in a miscarriage. So, but it happens very often before 5 weeks from a lot of women. A lot of people don't even know they miscarried because, especially if they're not trying. So I wanted to rule that out. So I kept taking tests until I reached my official last period. Obviously, my line progression kept getting darker and darker. It started stealing dye from the control line. So yeah, I'm good for now. December 10th, I was 5 and 5. Really tired after a 3 out of 3 shift, some light cramping, focusing on preserving my peace because I've been more sensitive, easily irritated, and emotional. I'm glad I have enough self-reflection to know it's me and not blame others for my hormonal feelings. My dog. Really bad urge to poop. I noticed I got a weird nauseating feeling when I hold my poop. Yesterday I wasn't able to when I wanted since I was busy at work. I also have a lot of bad gas. People have been getting on my nerves a lot lately. Mostly people at just people at work really. And I've been trying not to pop off. December 11th, 5 and 6. Weighing 161 pounds this morning. You're only supposed to gain 1 to 5 pounds by the end of the first trimester. So my magic number weight, the weight I like to be, is 140. Between 140 and 145. Typically 140. I have been 155 for the last few months. So that was like my starting weight as far as like when I got pregnant, before I got pregnant. And now I'm 6 weeks and literally yesterday, I was weighing 161 pounds. So I gained 6 pounds. And I'm not particularly happy about it because I'm only supposed to be gaining between a pound and 5 pounds by the end of my first trimester, which is week 12, week 13. I am only less than halfway there, because I'm week 6. So I decided to cut caloric food and eat more nutrient dense food. So what I've been doing is like eating more often. Like I have to eat like every 2 to 3 hours. Otherwise I start to feel really sick. Like not sick like nausea. I get sick like I feel out of it. I get this overbearing primal hunger feeling. Like eat. Like I can't, like I have to eat. Like I have to. So I've been trying to plan out my meals. So I eat, when I wake up in the morning, I've been eating like oats with plain Greek yogurt, 3 servings of fruit, which has been really good for my breakfast. And then 2 hours later, I eat a snack. And my snack will be like just avocado. Like cut an avocado, squeeze some lime juice on it, put a little garlic pepper on it, and just eat that. And that's very filling because of the natural fat. And then 2 hours later, it's lunchtime. Eat some spinach or some salad. Basically, in my salad is spinach, some cherry tomatoes, red onions, cucumbers, and feta cheese. And then 2 hours later, I eat another snack, which is macadamia nuts, oranges, which is really good. It has folic acid in it naturally. And 2 hours after that, then I eat my dinner, and I was like, I could just eat like just a protein, like chicken breast or something. Well, also I've been drinking a shit ton of water. Like I have like this big old jug that's like, this is like my normal like jug that I take to work and that I usually drink out of. It's only 64 ounces, and I say only because it don't cut it. I usually end up having to drink 4 more cups, like 2 to 4 more cups of more water after I finish that. But I like get a very intense craving for water, like thirst. Oh, and I started working out again because I hadn't been working out at all, which is probably why I gained some weight too. So I did a 5-mile walk. It also might be like water weight. But I have been indulging. I've been allowing myself to eat like 1 sweet a day because I have a really bad sweet tooth and I have to have like a little sugar. Otherwise, I feel like a savage or something. Like I feel like I'm like, I need to eat all the sweets. Like, so if I give myself a little bit of sweets a day, I can control it better. December 12th, 6 weeks, that's today. I had diarrhea twice today. I feel really out of it. My body's telling me to eat, but telling me to nap, so I napped, then woke up feeling ravagingly hungry and out of it. I ate and then I felt better, so I was able to work out today. I did Tae Bo. It's only 25 minutes long. It's not overbearing. It's not too intense because I don't want to like overwork my body while I'm pregnant. I also bought some books this week. I bought this book. It's called The Whole 9 Months, a week-by-week pregnancy guide, nutrition guide with recipes for a healthy start. I have this book called Bumpin', The Modern Guide to Pregnancy. It's kind of like it's like generic information. And then the #1 best-selling pregnancy book. I think I had a friend who read this book when she was pregnant. It's called What to Expect When You're Expecting, the all-in-one guide, everything you need to know from conception to birth and beyond, featuring a week-by-week look at your baby and information just for dads throughout. Yeah, I think it's cute that it has like, talks about like dads and what dads can do, and called sympathy symptoms, because I feel like Blake is definitely getting some sympathy symptoms. He's bloated. He was sick last week. But yeah, I just want to also show you my prenatals real quick. Garden of Life, My Kind Organic, certified organic whole food, prenatal once a day whole food multivitamin. These are organic vitamins. Blake is all about organic food, so he wanted to make sure that my prenatal was organic. So he got me same brand, Garden of Life, doctor formulated prenatal DHA. It's vegan, baby's brain development, 400 milligrams of DHA plus DPA. So DHA is really good for the baby's brain. These are also organic and they actually smell and taste good. This organic brand called Pure Synergy choline complex, made with organic vegetables and broccoli sprouts. This actually tastes disgusting. Tastes like fish, even though there's no fish in it. It's just like mostly like a lot of broccoli and like grass leaves and stuff in it. But anyway, it has choline in it, and choline is really good for the baby's brain.